Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday at Two Line Slot Cars. Coming to you live from Two Line Speedway, and it's been kind of a crazy day. My kids have made it home, so both girls are back in the house. So pretty exciting to have them close by, and we just walked downtown, grabbed a few drinks, and I came back. They're still there. There's some friends of ours are playing music, and so they were there hanging out, listening. But I thought we'd jump right into it tonight, get things started. It looks like there's a lot of people already in the chat. That's awesome. So thanks, George, Danny, Ragtop, Pat, Curvy. Hey Tim, welcome. How late's Marty going to be tonight? Marty was a few seconds early, not late. I'm not usually late. I'm usually right on. There's a timer on Ecamm, so I can watch and see when I'm supposed to go live. So I try not to be late. I don't want to fashionably. Nice. Hey Slaughter, welcome. Hey Kirby. Hey DeFingers, what's up? Final spin on the Wheel of Fortune. That was my grandparents, man. They didn't miss the Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy every night. So, but I don't have time for that. I got too much going on. Mine is on the 4-minute mark. So, well, how are things in the slot car world out there? Had a great stream last night. It was fun to talk about tuning cars. As you guys know, I'm still not very good at it, but I enjoy the challenge of tuning a car. So we got to talk about that, our favorite cars to tune. So I actually moved some of my cars out of my pit box over here to the shelf. So I have them at my disposal tonight. If there's something you guys want to talk about, I did get a box today. So we'll jump in and see what's in the box a little later. So we'll see. Don't forget, if you have questions, put a Q or type question up front first. Just makes it a little easier for me to see. And then I've got some moderators out there. If you guys see something I missed, let me know. Ping me. Especially sometimes the chat starts moving so fast I can't keep up. So let's see. So George, let's see, funny thing. And the tires are worn. There's hair around the axle. Funny thing, just opened this brand new car. Ragtop Pat. That happens when people buy collections and then turn them around and think that they have new cars that have never been on the track. And, unfortunately, people don't often tell the truth. They're trying to get the most money out of their collections as they can. So I hate to hear that. But it does happen. It's actually happened to me where I bought a car, and once I opened it up, it was pretty obvious that it had seen a few laps, not many, but it had seen some laps, and it was not completely new. But, yeah, it's a slot car. Maybe they did a good job tuning it. What else? Hey, Gene, welcome. The Fingers is in the house. Hey, Chris. Skeletric's micro set is currently on the coffee table. Nice. Oh, it's almost Marty time. Okay, this must be pre-show. What else? Hey, John Tucci, welcome. Hey, Steve Sweeney. Hey, Beat Nick. Yeah, you can find lead weights at Hobby Lobby for all those the Boy Scout stuff, the Pinewood Derby cars. It's kind of hard to work with because it's not so flat. So you want to get use it if you have to. But the flat stuff keeps your center of gravity a lot lower. So what else do we have? John Albright's in. Wildman is in. Neil. Hey, welcome, Neil. Good to have you. Let's see. Slot Car Daddy, Steven Sprague. Hey, Gary. John Mark. Let's see. Garage. Hey, Jeremy. Good to have you tonight. Steve got out of dishes. You the man, Steve. What else? Who else? Hey, there's my brother. De Leon, Slot Journal. Good to see you here, Mark. Thanks for joining. Hey, Daryl. Daryl won't be long. We'll be building your track. It's a project down the road in the new place. Let's see here. Hey, DK Moon. Gosh. Hey, Sean Casey. Do what Dave Kennedy does. Open chat only to subscribers. Yeah, that's a thought. I guess that's a setting that I could change. I mean, I don't want to guilt people into subscribing. If they don't want to subscribe, they don't subscribe. And it's just kind of crazy that it's so easy just to hit the button. Give me a like. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell. You get noticed anytime. Hey, Johnny Pro. Good to have you. Slot R. Dave is back from his music festival. Good to have you, Dave. It's good to chat today. Hey, Tom. Welcome. Hey, Billy. Or is it Amanda? AI designed one of my slot car tracks. Okay. Billy, you just opened up a whole can of worms because I was thinking about doing something like that to see if AI was smart enough to design a track if I gave it a table size. So that's cool that you did that. I'm looking forward to what all your input was. Hey, Racer X. Hey, Jeff. Welcome. I used some fish weights for a while, but I bought some bulk eBay thin strips. Nice. Yeah, I've got some slot car corner weight or Professor Motor weight, and then I bought a roll of like golf club tape. It's like tungsten. It's super thin, and I end up doubling and tripling it up because it is so thin just to get the weight that I'm looking for. But it sticks really well. And in a pinch, if you can't find any, you run out. You can always go to Dick's Sporting Goods or Dunham's or some golf pro shop and find some tungsten tape. I have 6 cars to tune for June rotation, 2 Racer Sideways Hurricanes, 2 NSR F22s, 2 Pioneer Legends. Nice. Steve, those will be fun. Those Pioneer Legends cars, they are, that guide is awful. So if you can get that fixed, which is not that hard, I used some heat shrink around that guide pin that goes up and snaps into the chassis, and it seemed to... Greg, yeah. Did Al or AI design your track? I am Al. I am AI. So we're not really talking to Billy. We're talking to AI. Let's see. What else do we got? So, yeah, I don't know. Did you guys get a chance to race over the weekend or get some time on your slot car tracks? I know on Sunday night, Dusty and John Mark came over and we had a good time. I just kind of sat here and tinkered on a couple cars and tried to decide which car was getting one of the light kits. So Dusty made the comment that maybe we should buy a car and build one for the wood track with the light kit. So maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. There were lots of votes for the Elva to get the light kit, which would look really cool. It would look sharp with lights. Lots of votes for the SRC. And this one has been a project car from day one, so it probably makes a lot of sense that this might be a car that gets it. And then somebody threw out the Shadow. The Shadow would be cool. Not not a great place to put the front headlights. They're pretty low. And the GT40 got a lot of votes. It would look good there. But the taillights, you got plenty of options there. And if you use the tailpipe kit, there's actual tailpipes. But if I start racing in that much, they probably get broken off. So there's lots of options. Again, the Mosler, which probably makes the most sense out of all my cars, because it's a good racer. It's kind of built for the wood track, I think. It's a great car, runs fast. So that's one of the decisions I got to make. I think I've talked about this before. My Hexcel, I had it running great, and then all of a sudden it stopped running great. And if you can look, you can see I had to do some repair. It's kind of hard to see. Just there by the rear tire, the chassis broke, snapped, and man, it would basically, you would hit the throttle and it would just flip out of the slot. So a few weeks ago, Daryl hooked me up with a chassis. And so that's one of my projects this week, is to get the Hexcel back on the track. I repaired it, and it's actually running pretty good, but I might as well get this done. So you guys have any cars you're wrenching on right now? Yeah, John Mark, it was good. I missed something here. Yeah, it was a good time. So just throwing cars on the track, getting some run in. They ended up being a Revo slot night. Two of the Porsches posted on Instagram some video, some slow-mo. That was fun. So I was kind of doing stuff like that instead of running laps. But I'm here every day, so if I want to run laps, I just come down to the basement. So, hey, Jim Anthony, welcome. Buy an Elva body only kit and light it. Keep your original body clean. Sean, that's a good idea. Can you get white kits in the Elva? The Elva is kind of hard to find right now. So I don't know. Let's see. Hey, Marty, what camera do you use for filming your content? Gerardo, I don't know. Let me put that back up. I use a Sony a6400 with a 16 millimeter 2.8 or no 1.4 lens. It's kind of like the YouTube lens, 16 millimeter. It's got a nice wide shot. It's kind of what a few years ago what all the YouTubers were buying, and I bought it because I really like kind of wide angle stuff in the photography stuff I was doing. It just made sense for me to have that. And then when I started the YouTube channel, I started shooting with that camera. So that's my main camera. I do not have. I've got a cheap webcam. Let me see. We got a cheap webcam that basically is a shot of the track. And then I can use my phone as one of my cameras too. But I've had a lot of questions here lately with so many guys jumping in and wanting to know about gear. I have to be honest with you. I'm a gearhead. I have a band, so I already had a bunch of microphones. That's why I've got this is like a really nice microphone. But I'm going to do a walkthrough video here in the next couple of weeks of all of my stuff. And mine's pretty simple. I did homemade lighting. So I thought I'd walk through that, what I did to create some softbox lighting. And it really, I've like $20 in those lights, and they do awesome. Now, eventually I'd like to upgrade because I think I could get my picture a little better. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with it. The hard thing is lighting the track. You can see it's kind of overexposed back there. I've got the two main lights on. I can kill those lights, and I've got a blue light that kind of makes it look kind of dark back there. But if I thought maybe I would keep the lights on in case I jump back there and did some laps on a car tonight. So, let's see. Do they offer Elva as kits I think just the body. Not sure of how easy to find though. Yeah, maybe. That's that's probably a good idea. Hey Robert, welcome. Whole box of fly cars to set up. So where to begin? Yeah, it was the marble. Okay, I know now. I caught up. Yeah, John Mark doesn't tune his own cars. I tune his cars, which is probably why they suck. No, I'm joking. Your Elva run's good. Yeah, I don't know. Daryl's tuned a few for you too. Yeah, Dusty it was the Marlboro versus the bird poop car. So I'll show you. So this is what Dusty is referring to. It's the Mobile One. Oh, focus. There we go. The Mobile One Revo slot. But that graphic, now you will never unsee the bird poop. It will always be bird poop. John Mark got his Ken Miles GT slotted out and did some laps. Yes, it still has the magnet in it, which is why it ran like a 7.6 on the layout. So, that's great. De Leon got a lot of cars to pin tomorrow. Dusty was trying to be nice. You can't unsee that. You cannot unsee it. It will forever be that for everyone that was in the chat. Hey Daniel, glad you're here. Greg, you have a 62 Corvette 124 Carrera analog. The regular size chip will not fit, as I purchased the one that is a U-shaped. I'm hoping I'll be able to get that to work. The U-shaped one, is that for the F1 cars? Yeah, and be careful. The 124, I mean, they like to run at 18 volts. So the 1/32 scale, I don't know how well they'll hold up to the voltage. So just be careful. What would you suggest for a newbie moving up from HO to the bigger scale? What brands of cars to start with at the raceways? So, Tom, where are you racing? Are you racing on a home track? Are you racing on a commercial track or a club track someplace? Like, is it plastic or wood? That's probably a good question to ask to start. You will get lots of opinions in the chat, and they're all very good because a lot of these guys know what they're doing. So if anybody in the chat wants to answer that question, George, looks like Carrera takes up a lot of space if you want to run a bigger scale. Depends on how much room you have. We talked about it in last night's stream. We felt like we had beginner brands, which are Carrera and Skelectrics, that should run pretty well out of the box for a plastic track without much tuning, just kind of the basic stuff, and you should be good to go. They are tough. They will take a beating with lots of wrecks. They're really kind of made to run with magnets. So that's the beginner stuff that you might start in. They look great. Carrera and Skelectrics both do a great job with the bodies. And then the kind of the intermediate stuff was stuff that you really have to tune to get to run well. It doesn't run great out of the box. That's Fly and some of the Ninko, some of the older stuff. But still fun cars. I mean, right now I can't stop running laps with these two cars. They're Fly cars. So they're a lot of fun, and they get around the track pretty good. I would say they're not, from a speed standpoint, they're kind of middle of the road. They're kind of underpowered, 18,000 RPM motors, but they are fun cars. And if you really want to learn to tune, they are cars that take a lot of tuning to get them to get to their potential, right? So don't be afraid of them, but it might not be the best car. It might not be the best car to start out with. And if you want to jump into some high end stuff that tunes really easy, slot it. This car did not take a whole lot of work for me to get it to run around the track really well. It did take some tuning, but out of the box, it was already pretty good. This was much better from a slotted standpoint. This was much better than my slotted GT40, my first one. I didn't know what I was doing back then at all, and it was a struggle to get that thing to run really well around the track. And when it came down to it, it was my front end setup. So watch some videos. There's lots of tuning videos for slotted out there. And then, NSR, Thunder Slot, those are all brands that I would consider kind of high end and, race ready, but they're not really race ready. There is tuning that you have to do. Pulling it out of the box, they'll perform okay. With just a few little things, you can have them really screaming. So that's just kind of my real quick. There are lots of people that can answer better. Hey, Peter, good to have you. If I was starting again, I would get Scale Auto Track. Slot Art, you probably got to see the Scale Auto Track in action at the UK Slot Festival. I'm really curious about that track. It's kind of tough to get over here in the States, but the fact that you can go 10 lanes, to me, it looks like it's almost identical from a geometry standpoint to Polycar. You've been on the track. I don't know. That's probably a good option. Cost-wise, it's just kind of expensive to get over here to the States. So, but yeah, that's probably, I mean, if I had it to do over again, now that I'm where I'm at in the hobby now, I really would like to have a 4-lane track. But I love this layout, and I can't do this layout in 4 lanes in Carrera in the space that I have. But I could probably make something pretty close in Polycar. And I like the grip. So we wouldn't have to go silicone tires. You just can stay with the rubber that comes with the cars and start treating them. And the Polycar track is really grippy. So I would probably look at, if I was building a 4-lane to 6-lane plastic track, it would definitely be Polycar. But not that I don't like my Carrera track. We love the Carrera track. We love this layout that we have right now. It's really good. Yeah, DK Moon. I just need to spend some time just really working with it, with this camera. Probably need to change the lens if I'm going to do more footage on the track. So let's see. You can make a good Carrera track if you have at least 5 by 12 feet. Yep, I would agree. If that's what you want. Yep. How much room do you have? The fingers, that is a great place to start. That's where everybody should start. Is how much room that I have, because then you can always go geometry. John Schaefer, welcome, man. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Miss your videos, bro. But hopefully you're getting some slot car time in, and yeah. Good stuff. But glad to have you. Thanks for jumping on. I really appreciate it. It's good to hear from you. Let's see. I'm transitioning from Carrera to Scale Auto. Peter, I would like to know how that goes. It would be interesting to compare a cost, to do a cost analysis. My marketing is coming out in me. My stats. But like a cost analysis of the difference, what it would take. But, you got to have a lot of room to go 4 lanes with Carrera. So, but not that I wouldn't want to run digital. We still love to run digital, but we've just been so hooked on analog cars and cars that are not Carrera cars, all these other brands. And so we've just been doing a lot of analog racing, and it would be nice to have more lanes. Mostly because there's 3 of us at least any night that we meet up. But it would be fun to start hosting some races and having a 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 lane track is, it's just more race time for people. So, we joke around about we drive 2 hours to go to Cincy Slots to run 2 3.5-minute races. For 7 minutes of racing. It's a long drive. So what else do we have? Yeah, John Schaefer's getting some love. Yeah, man. Glad to have you. Always. Let's see. This might be surprise people, but if you want to build on a ping pong, I'd go with Skillectrics over other brands. Yeah, you can probably put a lot. It just depends on how much track you want to put up. I mean, if you want to squeeze as much track in as possible, use all R1 turns and things like that, a bunch of over and unders, and you can squeeze a lot. But yeah, ping pong table is, what is that, like 4 foot by 8 foot? It's a good space. That's not true, Daryl. You're welcome anytime, man. Carrera would be great. You were roasted, Daryl. Let's see. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question. But if we were, I think everybody has, don't get me wrong. I am super happy with my Carrera track. I have no desire to get rid of it. But I would like to build a second layout. I've talked a lot about that on the live stream and on the channel. I would like a multiple lane analog. So 4 to 6 lane polycar, or even a small wood routed. I'm not opposed to that. Maybe 3 or 4 lane. That would be fun. That would be a fun challenge. Yeah, Chris, I saw that there is an adapter, which tells me that Scale Auto's the lane width is the same. So, or that wouldn't work. So the Polycar is a tire eater. Okay, so let me go. The Scale Auto track is not as wide as Carrera track, but the rails are about the same spacing, and the texture is good. Better than Carrera, but not a tire eater like Polycar. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling, it seems like there's a lot of club tracks in Europe switching over, or especially in Spain, switching over to Scale Auto, which is kind of cool. Let's see. What else? Okay, so I see it's cost effective to print. Yes. Are you talking about borders, Billy? So it is. I was curious. I didn't know how much filament a border would take. I know that Danny was working on it. Oh, there's Danny. It doesn't take much filament. I need to set up my slicer to tell me the cost per border. It really doesn't take much. So if it took $20 roll of filament to print 30 borders, you'd still be ahead. Yeah, that makes sense. So the Scale Auto border is only about half as wide as Carrera. Yeah. Does anybody follow Ronin Hobbies on Instagram? They posted, and I feel like their name on YouTube, that they're in the chat. Their name on YouTube is different, but there's Ronin posted videos this past weekend of painting the Carrera track, and it looks fantastic. And it's exactly what Dusty and I were talking about, me wanting to do on some of the turns, just to create some better lines. So well done. Well done. But check it out if you're on Instagram. You can do all the cost analysis you want, Marty. There's still no ROI. Greg, you're damn right. There is no return on investment. I kind of laugh. I see some of these people trying to sell their old track and the prices that they're asking for it. And I'm like, God love you, brother. I hope you can get that out of it. But people just don't pay for used track, even though it might be perfect and still operate perfect and no problems with it. Nothing's broken. If you come to Canada, our races are 15 minutes, Marty. Well, digital races are 14 at Bruce's at Cincy Slots. So yeah, if we don't run, sometimes we leave before, so we don't race. If we don't have a lot of times they were running digital 124, and we did not have the digital 124 cars at that point to race. So, yeah, so we were bailing. So it was a long drive for 7 minutes. But again, it was all about the experience down there. We just had fun getting to meet those guys and hanging out and, bench racing and, just having fun. So good stuff. Hey, Bud Slots, would love to come and run with you guys at your track since you've been over. Yeah, we'd trying to work something out. Had a long conversation. I noticed that the chat kept going last night after the stream, and I was kind of watching it because we were kind of talking about August. Raul and Massimo are going to head down to Ohio to hang out with me for a couple days, and then maybe sneak down and see George at Area 51. And I'm trying to put together kind of a race meetup day where I can set my track up someplace that's got more room than my basement. And I've got a couple locations that might work if the timing is right. And so if you guys are in Ohio, we'll be making more announcements about that. But yeah, Bud Slots would love to host a race here and have some guys. You guys make the trip to Chillicothe and try out the layout. That'd be fantastic. Grandson of Man, I went scaly cause space and cash. Yeah, I think if you look, you can pick up scaly track pretty inexpensive used. Hey, Patrick Harper, welcome. Slut Car Dojo. I would agree. I love my layout. I mean, it's kind of hard to see when I'm blocking it all, but this layout is fantastic. I posted some Instagram videos if you want to check it out. If anybody ever wants like a copy of my plan, I've posted it before. I'm happy to put it out there so you can tell exactly what it takes to build this layout. It's a 24 by 8, and I've got the corner of this table cut off over here just so it's easier to get around the table because I've got some plumbing right behind the shelf there. And so I just wanted access. So I kind of designed it around that. Yeah, Peter, he is printing for Carrera. So, yep, printing borders for Carrera. Tom, thanks. Ping pong is 6x9. Good to know. Let's see. They have Carrera borders on Thingiverse. Yes, they do, Billy, but they're not like full-size borders. They're like half borders. I've not found full-size borders on Thingiverse. So if somebody has a link, you can post it because there's a lot of 3D printing guys out here. Hey, Raul, welcome, man. Good to have you. Let's see. Of course, it takes a lot of time to print them, so consider that. Yes, it does. It's not a fast process. George, I would think you would want 25 shore or higher for Polycar track. That's good to know. It definitely seems grippy. I mean, Dave Kennedy talks about it all the time and does not have to do much to his tires to get it to those cars to hook up on it. So it's pretty impressive. But it probably wear through some tires pretty quick too. So you have to take that in consideration. Let's see here. I saw somebody mentioned Ronin. That's what I thought, Dojo. Dude, the paint job, fantastic. I love it. I posted on your Instagram. It looks fantastic. It's what I complained long ago that Carrera paints their stripes on the wrong side of their border. That inside border, it should be on the inside, like up against what plugs into the track. That's where that red and white check should be painted, the stripes. They miss out. I understand why they don't do that, but it would look better. It would look more like track. So yeah, you did a great job of That's one of my projects. I think I'm going to attempt to do what you did on one turn just to see how it turns out and see if I want to dive in. I'm really, you guys know me. I'm really hesitant to jump into the scenery stuff. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, Greg, I know you're in Clearwater. See, my kids are home this week instead of going to Florida like we were supposed to meet them next week. They decided to come home this week because their lives are too busy. I'm hoping that maybe they come in and jump on the track behind me. But I asked them if they would come on to the live stream, and they said no. I thought I could talk them into it. Let's see. What else do we have? I feel like I'm just rambling, guys. I apologize. As Marty said, stupid high. Hello, everyone. Just to let you know that the Scale Auto track is slightly wider than the Carrera track. I have Scale Auto straight track. Nice. Thanks, Crit Keeper. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to tell until you just like get it side by side. So maybe that's what I should do. Put something in the comments. Maybe I should just order a little bit of Scale Auto, like a straight and maybe an R1, and then pick up some, Skelectrics and Carrera and Policar, and just Policar. Do you hear me? Like, talk to me about some track. I want to build a 4 to 6 lane analog track, but I could do a comparison video so you can actually see. Dave actually did one between the 3, but it'll be good to add Scale Auto to that mix now, because I think it will become more popular, especially if they work out getting a distributor in the United States and making that whole thing a little cleaner. It would be cool. Yeah, I've looked at that, but I don't have a 3D printer, so I gave up on it pretty quick. Let's see. Chris, yeah, I kind of figured. Chris, I was counting up the number of people that are within a 2-hour to 3-hour drive from me, and there's a lot of subscribers. I think that a meetup would be fun. Have a track that we can all just play on. It wouldn't have to be serious racing, but it would be fun if it was like a big 6 or 8 lane track. So maybe I need to start calling people and figuring out how to maybe rent a large bunch of Policar track and create a 6 or 8 lane track. I don't know. Yeah, you like yours because you can run your scratch build stuff. Yeah, dude, you have nice tracks, George. Well done. Ah, nice. I look forward to that, grandson. Grandson of man, I need to. I got my itinerary. I've got such a crazy busy schedule with this conference that I'm going to in a couple weeks. But I still would like to figure out a time if we can meet up. That would be awesome. So I'll sit down tomorrow and try to go through that and maybe send you a message. So my wife bought me another 3D printer for my birthday. I saw that George got one too. That's awesome. If you go to 4 lanes, would you still be 2 lines? So let me explain the name, 2 lines. I have a daughter named Madeline, Madeline, and Caroline, Caroline. So I have 2 lines. So it doesn't have anything to do with the track, even though it kind of works. So yeah, good stuff. So that's why I'm 2 lines. Hey, 2 lines times 2. Yeah, we could get creative. Yeah. Hey, Raul. The Great American Road Trip. That's right, brother. And it will be journaled and YouTubed about, I'm sure. Just like Travis and Pete, and although Dave Slaughter, he's not releasing any of his content. He put his camera away and just enjoyed the UK Sloth Fest. So I'm proud of him because he held to his word. 240 frames per second slow motion FPV in the works now. That's nuts. Let's see here. When my Scale Auto track arrives, I got to figure out what to do for wider borders. GoPro 11 track camera now mounted on a Carrera car. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at picking up a GoPro just for that reason. I think it'd be fun to get some footage. Hey, John Helton. As a model car driver, scenery is paramount. Yeah, John, I'm getting pulled in, man. It started with the racetrack scenic stuff that I bought from Kevin, and those are just billboards. But yeah, for me though, it just can't get in the way of marshaling a race. So it needs to be removable or movable. So that's what I'm working on. But I definitely want to create something really cool as a backdrop for my pictures. So I'm with you, man. I'm getting pulled in. Tom was asking who raced in Florida. Yeah. There's quite a few subscribers from Florida. So yeah, maybe their favorite uncle should have ran in town to race with them. You probably could have got them in here. Right now they're down at Steiner's, listening to some live music and meeting up with some folks from the bank. We had an employee quit, and it stressed everybody out today. So, I probably shouldn't have said that. Strike that from this conversation. Anyway, let's see. Gerardo, Scale Auto has a U. Scale Auto track is like Ninko track, just not as grippy. Yeah, I've heard that Ninko is pretty grippy track. Is it? I know that it's not made anymore, but there's probably lots of Ninko track out there if you want to peruse the Facebook marketplace and stuff like that, right? And not at all worth it from my experience. There you go, Wild Man. You just answered my question. It's not stainless steel rails, right? So there's a lot of rail maintenance with the Ninko stuff. Am I making that up? Or have I heard somebody say that before? I have more than enough Carrera track, but I do want to get the Scale Auto Carrera adapter and try some Scale Auto track. Yeah, that's cool. If you build it, they will come. Whispering in Marty's ear. Thanks, George. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. I'll go find it. Danny, hang on. Let's see. I could do something else. Oops. Danny. You should be able to post that link now. So, all right, back at it. So real quick, before I forget, a big thank you to all of you who have purchased coffee. I've had a few conversations with Trent and there's quite a few guys that have subscriptions now and that are buying coffee on a regular basis. I'm super thankful. Like that's exciting to me. He's a great guy, and I love that he wants to partner with my channel. I feel like I can't do a whole lot for him, but he's just a good dude. So yeah, let's do this. Roastcoffee.com. Use 2 lines TWOLINES as your code, and you get 25% off your first purchase, 20% off of a subscription for the lifetime of the subscription. And I know a handful of you have done that and taken advantage of that. And that's actually a pretty cheap bag of coffee with that 20% off. I think it's like $12. And coffee is getting super expensive right now. So, but yeah, I really appreciate the fact that you guys are supporting Trent. In turn, that supports me. Just because I love giving coffee away. So the last couple of weeks, we gave coffee away. I believe the winners were, let's see. I don't see him in Steve. No, hang on. Who was it? It was Asher University, which his name's Phil. So Phil was last week's winner. And then Jim Carson won the week before. So we'll be giving coffee away tonight. I'll notify somebody after, probably tomorrow. The live chat, I kind of have to wait till the live chat to post before I can go pull stuff out of it to do a random giveaway. So, but guys, I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. So let's get to the box, shall we? I mean, I'm 45 minutes in of rambling. Let's open something. Let's do something. So placed an order with LEB Hobbies because they had a car that I wanted, and so I'll let you guys take a guess. There is a car in here that I ordered. What is it? It's a car that I've probably talked a little bit about, but it might surprise some of you because I have talked about one car a lot, and I put it off because I was afraid this car would sell out. So let's open it up. I'll try not to cut my finger. So, any guesses? Yes, coffee. I like it. Hey, Finn is on the live stream. Hey, pup. What's up? Coming to hang with Dad? Let's see. So, first things first. Paper. There should be some parts. All right. This is what we got first. The first thing we pull out of here is Dusty. You should have come over tonight. This is Dusty broke his motor pod at the wood track, I think, right? So this is for the 917 K 10K. Yep. And I've got some wire and some guide shims. What else do we have? So, man, Lynn's great. Maybe one day I'll get a chance to meet the folks, the great folks at LEB Hobbies. And then a stockpile of grub screws. So, yeah. So now we have some grub screws because I've been short some of those. Some stickers. And now to the important piece of this. Any guesses? I should probably look in the chat. Did anybody guess what car this is? A Mini Cooper. George. How did you know, George? It's Mr. Bean. I have been waiting. I was so afraid it would sell out. The blue McLaren. Ooh. The Maverick. Oh, I like some of these. Oh, 512 Ferrari. It's a glitter bomb. Mark Rober. He got me. Yeah, Porch Pirate. First look. John Albright. I think John may already know. I think Daryl already knows too. I think I had a conversation with him. So let's see. Yeah, DeFingers, nice box of bits. Amanda says there's coffee. Amanda says coffee. I bet I could ship it. Might cost me twice the price of the coffee to ship it to Canada. So yeah, let's get to this car. Sorry, I don't mean to make you wait. So you can probably already tell. See it through the plastic. Oh. It is the Thunderslot McLaren. It was a Pinto, yeah. We ordered like the same small parts from LEB, Chris. Yeah. With all the tuning, I'm finding that just the grub screws alone, I've been missing some of those. So I've got some cars I need to go back and adjust the front ends just now that I have, like, the Shadow. My Shadow is running great. Haven't been able to adjust the front end, so I think I've got more time in it. But, man, check that out. Ooh. It's a good-looking car. Yeah, Steve, Steve, if you're looking for the blue version of this, you can get it at Cloverleaf. Shout out to Cloverleaf. They still have it in stock. So if you're after the number 52, the blue, if that's what you want, you can get it there. George found it last night in the stream. So yeah. The papaya. Yep. Steve, I haven't really got into the Formula 1 cars. And I'm afraid if I buy my first one, then I'll get hooked on them. So I'm trying to be careful. It'd be the Cobra 2. Yeah, Wild Man, I like the orange. That's sharp. So what do you guys think? Let's open it up. Wait. Yeah, this is a great looking car. I mean, we all know about Thunder Slots. We know that they're great running cars. They look fantastic. Pretty, in my experience, they're pretty easy to tune. But man, dang, that's a great looking car. Maybe I should tune this thing up and give it away. What do you think? Would anybody want this? Yeah, Wild Man, I like the orange. Whew. Man, that's a good looking car. Get a good look at that. The lights don't really do it justice. It's a sweet color. But what I love the green tinted lens on the windshield. I didn't notice that in the pictures. That's pretty sweet. I looked at that with no context, but you obviously are talking about the Polycar cars. My first car from LEB was the NSR Martini Porsche 917K in the fancy box. Always worth getting a few bags of grubs, different sizes. Yeah, DK Moon, they come in handy for sure. So what else do we have? Content. I appreciate the fingers being the voice of reason in the chat. I still can't find the Emerson Fittipaldi Polycar JPSF one. That's pretty cool. That would be a cool one. Question, Slot Car Daddy. Marty, do you like classic muscle cars? I do. I don't own many classic muscle car slot cars. I own the Thunder Slot Mustang GT350. But outside of that, I don't really own any. Okay, so everybody says the Elvas are faster than all the other Thunder Slot cars. How many of you agree with that statement? You want it? If I tune it and give it away, it's fun just to give away a car. I'm not gonna lie. I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. I've given a couple of cars away. I've had a handful of cars given to me, and they all become very special gifts. But yeah, I think it would be fun to tune up another car and send off to a subscriber. So maybe this is the car that happens to. But if I get it tuned up and it's super fast, might be hard to give up. But Sean Casey, keep it. Wild Man, I want it. Sean Casey, keep it. Grandson of Man, keep it. Yeah. Maybe I'll get another one. Maybe if I can track down a blue one, I can. But I think it would be fun to. It's easy to give just a new car away, but I think would be fun to tune up a car to give to somebody, just to see how it performs on their track. I don't know, Raul, have you ran your Elva yet? But let's compare the Elva and the McLaren. So let's look at wheelbase. I would say it's exactly the same. I'm looking at the bottom. It's pretty much an identical chassis except for the nose. Yeah, the nose is a little different. Just the shape of it. But focus. Not on me. There we go. But guys, these cars look pretty identical. Let's put them on the scale. Which my Elva has weight. So let's see what the stock weight of the McLaren is. It is 61 grams. And the Elva is 67. So, not a lot of weight in the Elva to make it go fast. Yeah. And that's a good looking car. So how many of you have this car? Question. I answered that question. Do I like classic muscle cars? Marty, Marty, Formula cars are sweet from NSR. Yeah, they look awesome. And obviously they're NSR. I know they're going to be fast, super fast. Let's see. Give away a tuned car. Who does that? I don't know, Daryl. Who does that? Let's see. Don't give it away till you get the blue version. Well, I was thinking maybe like if I ever hit the next milestone in my subscriber count, I'm not going to mention it because as soon as I mentioned it 3 weeks ago, my channel tanked. So, it's finally starting to like level out a little bit. Run it on the track back here. Okay. Give away a tuned car. Okay. Let me see if I've caught up with the chat. Love the McLarens. You'll only end up ordering a second one for myself. Yeah, this is sweet. They do a great job. The detail's great. I'd like to compare this to a picture of the original, the real. But the fact that they went and did the green windshield, like I got to give them credit. If the original one had that and they did that, that's cool. Once you run it, you'll want to keep it. You're probably right. Straight out of the box, put it on the track. Okay, yeah, I'll do that here in a second. I'll fire up the track and throw it up on the. You have 4 NSL Formula 22s. All need longer grub screws to get the front end. The Thunder slot in your hand. I've got 4 pre-ordered cars from LEB coming eventually. Nice, Danny. Yeah, Danny is one of them. Happened to be the Pink Pig NSR 917K. I'm better than the mods. That's true. That's funny. Test it. Everybody wants to test me. Don't have to tune, Marty. Put it on the track. Hey, John Bacon. Welcome, man. Good to hear from you. It's been a while. I was going to send you a message the other day just to check on you, see how you're doing. Gerardo, the fastest classic I have is my red Elva with a Predator 25K. There you go. Gerardo, we have twins. It's fast. It's now 7.4. That's what it's running on this track. Now, to be fair, there's no magnets in it, but that 25K motor has some mag effect. But not a lot. I imagine it won't hang on a piece of track upside down at all. So there's not a lot of magnet downforce. You're hungry now. Bacon. To give away cars, you need to buy in 2s and 3s like Raul. Yeah, DK Moon, you're probably right. I'm too cheap. I want to spread my, like, there's just too many cars that I want. It would be easy if there was like one car. I'm like, I'll buy 3 of that because there's only one car that I want. The problem is everything Thunderslot is released, I want. Slot It is killing me with the Group C cars, the fat turbo, which is what I thought everybody would guess, that the car in the box was a fat turbo. Slot It. So that'll be my next order. Let's see. One more than a few Thunder slots in a while. The Elva is certainly quick. The Lola T70 is my track record holder. The T70, nice. Is that open cockpit, John Albright? Or is that the closed Lola? I don't know my Lola numbers, but I love the closed cockpit Lola, the blue with the yellow stripe. I think that one's fantastic. That was sharp. Marty, with your eyesight, papaya is a color you can follow fast. Yeah, it is. I'll be honest with you. That's kind of why I picked this over the blue. And then when I went to order it, the blue was sold out, so I didn't have much choice. But yeah, you're right. I like the color. It's the reason why I painted this orange, the orange red, because I knew it would be easy to see on the track from an eyesight standpoint. Obviously, the Elva is faster. It's red. Yeah, both are great-looking cars. Enjoy it. Tear it up. I have some crazy stuff about the history of Marlboro, Ferrari, F1. Red is always faster. It looks faster anyway. What's the preferred weight for everyone's personal track? That's a good question. It really depends on the car, but I would say that's I'm going to weigh a bunch of them. So tuned cars. My Thunder slot comes in at 68 grams. My NSR GT40 comes in at 73 grams. My Shadow, this will be a curious one since lots of people have this car. My Shadow comes in at 73 grams. My Hexcel, 75 grams. The SRC, it's a fat boy, 81. 81. What else? My Mosler. For the longest time, I didn't have any weight at all in this Mosler. It's 80 grams. Now we'll do some of the fly cars. The Lancia, 86 grams. A little heavier. Keep that thing in the slot. Ooh, the Capri. It's 89 grams. Maybe I need to take some weight out of that thing. I didn't realize it was that heavy. So there's some weights, grandson. Hopefully that helps you. I don't know what other people, and I know it's, based on the track, but the blue one I got was a lot easier than the orange one to tune. Denny and Bruce both. Even with the weight, the Elva is light. Yeah, Chris, it is. It's just such a fast car. Again, I just didn't need a whole lot of weight. So, what else do we have? Daryl, you need PayPal or Venmo. I need to send you some money if that's a true statement. Noob question: are there magnets or non-magnets? Do most guys race them non-magnetic? Okay, Tom. Tom, that's the hot button. There are lots of guys that are dead against magnets. I'm not one of those guys. I'm just going to be clear. And there might be people that unsubscribe. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's why I lost all those subscribers. They were like, he's a magnet guy. So all of my analog cars are no magnet. This is kind of what I've decided. So if I'm running analog, they're no magnet cars. If I'm running digital, I will have a few digital cars that are no magnet because we race at Cincy Slots and they run no magnets all the time. But here with my kids, I call them kids, they're young adults, but they will run magnets. Like this week with them being home, we'll probably race a few times just to come down late night, just to have some fun. And we'll probably run digital and run magnets because that's what they do. Kids, anytime kids are on my track, I've got, even if we're running analog, I've got some high magnet cars to make it just more fun for them. They don't really even have to drive. They can just pull the trigger and they've got so much magnet, they'll stick. But I think you'll find that a lot of the club tracks will have certain classes. They'll have no magnet classes and they'll have magnet classes. Every track is different, but at your own house, you do what you want. On your home track, you do what you want. I think a lot of it has to do with the cars. The analog cars that I run, they're all different brands, Slotted, Thunderslot, NSR, Fly. I run those all no magnets. I will tell you that the Fly cars probably become way better cars if you leave the magnets in. But Carrera cars, most of my Carrera cars still have magnets. Haven't taken those out, mainly because they don't do well without the magnets. And they're cars that you don't have a lot of options to tune. You true tires, you true the wheels to get them as round as possible, and that's really about it. There's not a lot of adjustment. So that was a long answer. That was probably answered in the chat, but that's yeah. Dusty's going to pre-order the Pink Pig 917K. No surprise there. Yeah, and George, I'm looking at turning my scale into a Magnet Marshall, a DIY, just to see if I can do it. It's a $12 scale. If I mess it up, I'm not that worried. I'll just order another one. But I really would like to have a Magnet Marshall so I can, because even though I've got a few cars that are not magnets, they have mag effect motors in them, which give you a little bit of magnet downforce. And that makes a big difference. So I changed my mind. I don't want to give it to Tom. Oh, poor Tom. He didn't even know what he was stepping into. But Tom, I hope that answers your question. My analog cars are all no magnets. Most of my digital cars are magnet cars. My 124 scales, we pull the magnets out of those just because they'll slide around anyway. I don't know that the magnets help them that much, to be honest. So they call us dealers for a reason. The T70 Spider, but the coupes are pretty quick too. Yeah, that's why I figured it was the Spider. Fast car. See, that's faster than the Elva. It's your track record holder. Let's see. That's funny. A Carrera comes in at 47 pounds. This is true. Marty, my new Aston is orange. Nice. That's sweet, Greg. I look forward to seeing it. I'm a fan of the orange. The more I look at this thing, I'm becoming more and more a fan of this orange. This papaya, this lighter orange. It just looks good. Yep, a Magnet Marshall is important tuning tool. Yep. Most of the cars at Butch's range 90 grams higher or lower. Yeah, I think for the wood track, you probably there's no magnet, magnetic. It's not magnetic braid. So I'm not surprised. Yeah, my Mosler. What did I say the Mosler was? Mosler is 81. So I would probably add a little bit of weight to it if I was going to run that at the wood track a lot. I try to keep mine under 65 to 75 grams. Got a few over 80 though. Yeah, it just depends. You kind of move the weight around and see how it reacts, and The less weight, the better, because it's going to be faster. But sometimes the weight, just to get them to handle. Chris Freder. Yeah, it's just, I mean, come on, look at this car. It's sweet. The NSR Fiat 500, Repsol livery. Hey, now you're talking Slot R's language there. That's his NSRs. Slot guard adding. Magnets are the only true scaled down force you get. Yeah. Question. We don't take kindly to no magnets around here. We don't use the N word, Steve. That's great. There is a learning curve when you remove the magnets from digital 124 Carrera and run 124 BRM on Carrera track. Many laps needed to improve lap times. Yeah, Greg. BRM. It's my favorite 124 scale car to race on the track. It's actually Daryl's, but it's a lot of fun, and it likes to slide. But yeah, you really have to drive it around. But it's a good time. But it's a plastic chassis. I really like to get one of the newer aluminum ones down the road when I stop buying Thunderslot 132nd scale cars. I would think some folks get frustrated and go back to magnets. Yeah. I think I've told the story. We had never ran no magnets until the night we showed up to Cincy Slots to race the first time. So it was a rough first night, but it's tough. But watching other people do it, we learned a lot really quick. So I think we picked up on it. But you just kind of have to like tear the Band-Aid off and go. Just practice. If you ran on multiple tracks, you have fun tuning for each one every time. Yeah, magnets. I mean, here's the thing with Tom, going back to that. A car, like the track record on my layout with a magnet car is a slotted McLaren. I'm forgetting the model number. It's a classic, like a vintage McLaren. And it breaks out. My breakout time is 5:99. And it broke out twice. So it's running under 6 seconds on my layout. That a fast lap, an 8.3 is, for most cars, is a really good lap. If you're in the low eights, you're flying around. If you're in the 9-second range, you're consistent with lots of cars on my layout, and that runs under 6 seconds. So magnet cars can be scary, scary fast. They create a lot of heat because of the magnets. They draw a lot of amperage. So there's, things you have to deal with magnets. But, Carrera's made for that. That's why they put magnets in their cars. Yeah, Racer X. Again, like I always go back to when we're running digital on this layout. With the pit lane, it's kind of sharp getting in the pit lane. Magnets, and that's how we race when we race digital. But we don't race magnet analog on the layout. And we found that we really enjoy having to drive the cars. So we've moved away from magnets, but only on the analog side. Magnets give cars wings. Yep. If you want to see a car come apart, fly magnets. Wear safety equipment. My track is lumpy and bumpy, so a little mag helps. Yeah, John. Yeah, again. I feel like this is where lots of people get into arguments. Yeah, man. No, that's what this channel is about, is asking questions and learning about the hobby. So, yeah, it's all good, man. That's why we're here. That's why we're sharing stories. But just understand that as you progress in the hobby, the natural progression is starting with magnets, having a lot of fun with magnets, and then dipping your toe into the non-mag world with some cars that are, easier to tune and that have the ability to be tuned. A Carrera car, there's not much you can tune. Skillelectric's car, not much you can do to tune them. So you're very limited to what you can do. It's you adjusting the front ride height to get the guide in the slot deeper. All those kind of things, all the speed tricks are hard on those cars. So that's why it makes sense to run those with magnets. Yeah, it's okay. And if anybody in the chat is shaming somebody for running magnets or non-magnets, we'll take care of that because we want, this channel is about a safe space to ask those questions and talk about it, and you'll find that a lot of guys do. That a lot of guys run both. And there's not very many people who are on the extremes of I will never run magnets. You have a few, but those are extremes. We're kind of in the middle here. So it's all good. Yeah, Greg, it's a sweet BRM. Tom, no apologies. It's all good. Don't you worry about it. John, if your Mosler weighs 81 grams, no mag, add another 18 grams or so to that from the motor magnets. Yeah, you're probably right. That's why I would like to build a. I mean, Piranha makes a magnet Marshall that's like $109 or $129. So maybe I just buy it, but it'd be fun to try to build one. I'm always looking for content to use to create. Let's see. Yeah, Steve was talking about when a magnet car goes off. Yeah, Tom, that's a great point Steve makes. You'll find that you don't tear up cars running no magnets because you have to use your brakes in the turns, things like that. When a magnet car lets go and jumps out of the slot, it's carnage. So just be prepared for that. You'll tear up more cars running magnets than you will non-magnets. Try the 124 BRM Alpha car. Yeah, Tim, the Alpha looks great too. It's a good looking car. Yeah, definitely. You can if you're a speed guy and you want all kinds of speed. Yep, magnets is the way to go. It's the way to do it. What did I miss? You weren't wrong. No, just fat finger on a phone. Yeah, I do both. Have never had serious issues with broken cars either way. Yeah, let me show you. This is my Pride and Joy 908 NSR. I made it a digital car as soon as I bought it and piled a bunch of magnets in it. And there are no magnets in it now. And I have way more fun racing that thing. But all of the engine is gone. That's mostly from getting rear-ended in turns and things, running digital. Plastic, the mirrors broke off, the fins broken. Like that's what you deal with running magnets. And since I converted it back to analog and no magnet, I have not broken anything, except for there's not much left to break off of it. So, but that's what you kind of have to deal with, especially those cars. If you start making NSRs and Slottits and those cars are more fragile, like they're racing cars, their bodies are a little lighter weight, not as much. It's all about weight, so they can't handle the beating. But yeah, good stuff. That's right, John. Yeah, and so Tom, maybe you start magnets, and a year from now you venture into no mag like we did, and then you'll get completely obsessed with it and realize just how much fun it is to drive a car with no magnets once you figure it out. But gain some experience. Use magnets as kind of a crutch. What happens is when you go no magnet, you really have to learn to tune. John Albright, George, Daryl, I'm trying to think, everybody who's told me this statement, magnets will hide a ton of sins. So that's what you have to deal with. Your first non-mag car weighed in around 120 grams. It was a missile going around the track. But you learned, Greg, you learned like how to minimize that, right? To how to make the car handle and bring the weight down so that you get even more speed. It's all about learning. So take your time in the hobby, ask lots of questions. That's fun. Gosh, I know we haven't accomplished anything. You guys want me to run this car tonight, and we're an hour and 21 minutes in. But like that's what this is about, like asking these questions, having this discussion, and then you look in the chat and just look at all the information that's out there. DeFingers is mags for the daughter, which makes it fun for her. Perfect. Yeah. Like my nephews come over and they run magnets and I'll run a non-mag car, and it becomes like usually they're beating me because they can run much faster with those mag cars. But you can even out the competition that way, make it fun for everybody. Are you kidding me? I'm sure they love it when they get to beat up on me. Let's see. Dusty strikes again. That's funny. Yeah, I can't believe Dusty or John Mark would tear that car up. I've never raced slot cars. I would try it if given the chance. I really enjoy my slotted sideways Pala cars. They handle my track great. Yeah, John. Those are all great cars. I'd never had a sideways until the first night we ran at Cincy Slots, and that's when we bought my first sideways. And great cars, a lot of fun. My M1, I still haven't been able to get it like right. It's close, but it's not perfect running car. But they're highly tunable. What's a reasonable controller to start with at the raceways? So you're talking about going to like a public track. You probably just need to see what they have available and I guess how you connect to the track. There's Professor Motor makes an inexpensive controller that works great. Lots of people use it. It's not super expensive. It's under $100. Then what do we have here? Dusty has the SCP2, the slotted controller, and that's about $200. And you can get into a DeFalco for about $200. There's lots of options out there. There's some great controller videos out there on YouTube as well. So yeah, let's see what else. Track time. We want lap time too, Marty. Okay. Eves, Revo slots. I didn't have mine out. I have two Revo slots. I have the Ferrari 333 SP. I absolutely love driving this car. This car is a blast. Now, it's not my funnest. Oh, you want to know weight? Good question. This is why it's not the fastest car. This Revo slot is 115 grams, and I don't think I added any weight. I don't think I've added any weight. Maybe there is a little bit of weight up front. It's just a touch tail happy, but man, you can drive it into the turn. Yeah, I'm a fan of the Revo slots. I've got a couple on my radar. I was really waiting for Super Tire to release silicones for the Group 2 cars. Yeah, Dusty has the Pink Pig sideways. It's a great car. Yeah, George, they do fly under the radar. So yeah, if you're running ghost cars, yeah, I run a mag car for ghost cars when you're running digital track. No mercy. The Lancia is cool car. The BMW 320, just about most of them are available, to be honest. Yeah. Hey, Mad P. Welcome. Glad to have you. Okay. Yeah. So let me switch over to the other camera and I'll run a few laps with the Thunder slot. No tuning at all. This could be bad. I haven't even, yeah, I mean, most people recommend you not do this, but so let me switch over to the track camera. You guys are probably not going to be able to hear me because I don't have a mic plugged in. Oh boy. Start this so I can get some lap times. Lap counter's not working. Fix the lap counter. Try this again. You guys are putting too much pressure on me. It's cutting in and out a little bit. Need to fluff the braids. Front end needs set up a little bit. It's not too bad. It definitely set up. Motor's pretty smooth. It's a get through the S's pretty good. seconds, 9 ones, no tuning at all. So 9 seconds, 9 ones, no tuning at all. The front end needs some work. Put it on the setup block. Maybe the front's not too bad. I could feel the motor getting a little quicker just as it warmed up and get a couple laps on it. Definitely tires. If I threw some silicones on this, we probably could immediately get some better times, but I don't know. What did I miss? Yep, Curvy, you were right. The pressure was getting to me. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I told you guys I'm not great. I'm not a great driver, but yeah, Grand Center, man, that 9 seconds is not bad. With no, oh, hang on, let me change cameras. Default. Yeah, 9 seconds not bad. It is definitely, yeah. John Helton called the safety car. Yeah, Gary, it's running pretty good. I mean, if I compared it to this, I mean, this is running 7.4s. This is running 9s, no tuning. I mean, I could add some float. Tires are a big thing. Yeah, that's the fun in tuning these things. So I will get it tuned up this week. Maybe I'll do a video on that, and then we can test it next Tuesday. So I don't know. What do you think? Yeah, not too bad. I'll try to drive a little better the next time too. Yeah, thanks, George. Try to bail me out. I appreciate that. It is untuned. I mean, it was straight out of the box. That was fun. Now I'll put the Elva on. Okay, I'll put the Elva on. Change to the track cam. Hey, I kept it in the slot. What do you know? Just ran a 7.729 with that. So that's the difference. A tuned car versus an untuned car from Thunderslot. Makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. So did I miss anything in the chat? So Jay, I was running my track record holder, my Elva. So Daryl said to put the Elva on. So yeah, that's a runner, man. It was still the braids. I needed to fluff the braids a little bit. It was still glitching a little bit. Ran a 7.792 or 7.29. So yeah, good stuff. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. See, here's the thing. That was fun, but what if like 10 of you guys were over here and we did an organized race here? That would even be more fun. That's what I'm missing about not having a club here locally. So, Tom, thanks for your questions tonight. That made this, it gave us something to do tonight in the live stream. It was great to help you through some of those questions. So please, if you go to the description of my channel, my email address is out there. It's thet5guy@gmail.com. Send me an email if you have more questions, Tom, or anybody out there in the chat. I don't mind answering questions. If I don't answer immediately, I will eventually get to you. But I have about 50 or 60 conversations going on at any one given time. So, but it's worth it. It's fun. I enjoy it and love to help out. And, there are lots of other conversations that I'm on the flip side. I'm asking questions, and guys like George and Raul and Massimo and Dave Kennedy and Travis and John Albright and Daryl and Bruce at Cincy Slots, they're all like resources for me, and I ask lots of questions, and they're super helpful to give me answers. So you'll find, Tom, that this community is really very giving. And that's what I love about being a part of it, and I love being a catalyst to that with this channel and last night's stream with Raul and George and Massimo. It's important to us to help continue to grow this hobby. So, guys, my kids are home. I'm going to wrap this up. This has been fantastic. I really appreciate all of you. I thank you very much. Thanks for helping Rost out, Roast Coffee. I'll get this tuned up and next week and see if I can't get it running closer to the Elva. Yeah, John, thanks. I know I was wrapping up, but DeLeon, nice. Wildman, if you ever find yourself in Ohio, bro, call me. We'll make it happen. But yeah, no need to be shy or ashamed when it comes to questions. You will find that I am not shy at all. But I still found it difficult early on to ask questions. And then when I started those conversations and people were so open to help, it made a world of difference, and it really let me, feel at home in the hobby. And so, yeah, great stuff. I really appreciate it, guys. I'm going to sign off. Thank you, Tim. Thanks, Wildman. Thanks, John, Rag, Top, Pat, Dusty, Racer X, The Fingers, Shawnee. Yes, George, Mark, Mad P. Thanks for tuning in, even though it was you caught the short end of it. Chris, thanks, man. Chris, you'll have to get down to the track sometime. But guys, this has been great. I really look forward to Tuesday nights, and it's all because of you. And let's stay connected this week. Send me a message if you have questions. I'd love to talk to you. And guys, go have fun racing.